Today, we're digging into something huge happening in South Korea. They're making this massive bet on their biohealth industry, trying to turn it into a global powerhouse, something on the same level as their legendary semiconductor sector. So, what does this blueprint for revolution actually look like? Let's get into it.
Now, this isn't just some catchy slogan from a marketing department. The next semiconductor industry, that's the official vision of the South Korean government. I mean, think about that. For a country whose entire modern economy was practically built on computer chips, that is a massive statement. It's a signal that they're making a national pivot with the full force of the government behind it. They're not just hoping this works out. They are actively trying to engineer their next economic miracle.
And this isn't just some pipe dream for the future. The momentum is already incredible. Right now, South Korea's AI healthcare market is growing at a staggering 50.8% every year. I mean, just look at that. It's not just a little ahead. It's blowing past both the Asian and the global averages. The engine is definitely starting to roar.
So, what gives Korea the confidence to make a bet this big? You got to look at the raw materials they're working with, right? Let's examine those foundational strengths that make this vision seem not just ambitious, but maybe, just maybe, achievable.
It really all comes down to data, a mind-boggling amount of it. Because they have a single-payer system that covers pretty much everyone, their national health insurance service is sitting on 3.4 trillion healthcare data points. That's trillion with a T. You combine that with the fact that 90% of medical records are electronic, and what you have is a digital gold mine. It's the perfect fuel for building world-class medical AI.
But, and this is a big but, this is where the story gets really complicated. See, having all the right ingredients, the best IT, tons of data, government backing, it doesn't automatically guarantee success. Korea is facing this fundamental paradox, a bunch of internal roadblocks that are keeping this whole engine from really hitting top speed.
And this slide really gets to the heart of it. On one hand, you've got this incredible promise. But on the other hand, you have these roadblocks. That massive treasure trove of data? Well, it's locked away in separate silos, so hospitals and platforms can't talk to each other. Strict privacy rules have basically become brick walls. And all of this has created a real lack of social trust. It's like having a library full of priceless, one-of-a-kind books, but they're all locked in different rooms with different keys, and nobody has the master key.
Yeah, the conflict becomes even clearer when you just map it out like this. For every single strength, there's a challenge that's holding it back. Unbelievable big data? It's crippled by a lack of standardization. Strong government will? It keeps running headfirst into regulatory hurdles and really serious concerns about AI ethics. So the real question becomes, how on earth do you break this stalemate and unlock all that potential?
Well, you start by looking at what everyone else is doing, right? To solve its own paradox, Korea is pretty much on an intelligence-gathering mission, scouting the world for winning playbooks that it can borrow and adapt for itself.
First stop is the United States. Their model can basically be summed up as move fast, evaluate later. The FDA uses these flexible pathways, like the de novo process, which helps get new and novel AI medical devices to the market way faster. Now, this isn't about being unsafe, it's about changing how you prove a product actually works.
And that proof comes from something called real-world evidence, or RWE. So instead of waiting forever for these slow, formal clinical trials, RWE uses data from how a product is actually being used in the real world with real patients. This just dramatically speeds up innovation because companies can show how valuable their tech is after it's already helping people.
Okay, next up, Germany. Their lesson is brilliant and simple. Pay for innovation up front. They've got this Digital Healthcare Act, and what it does is it lets promising digital therapies get temporary approval. But here's the key part. It also gets them reimbursed by the national health insurance. This creates an instant market, giving companies a huge financial reason to innovate because they know there's a clear way to get paid.
Then you've got Finland, which offers this powerful lesson in how to handle data. Make data sharing the default. Their national health platform works on an opt-out system. That means citizens are automatically included in the data sharing pool for research unless they actively choose to leave. It's a small shift, but it has completely changed the game, dramatically increasing the amount of data available for researchers.
So when you pull it all together, you start to see this global playbook of different strategies. The US is all about regulatory speed. Germany is creating market incentives. The UK is leveraging its unified health data. Singapore is investing heavily in talent.
The big takeaway here? There's no single magic bullet, no one right way to do this. So, armed with all these lessons from around the world, what's Korea's plan for its own breakthrough? How are they going to finally solve their paradox? Well, the whole strategy is built around 3 core pillars. First, a K-Health data hub to finally fix that data problem we talked about. Second, something called a Biohealth Sandbox 2.0 to start tearing down those regulatory walls. And third, a global innovation hub to make sure Korean breakthroughs can actually compete and win on the world stage. Let's break each one down real quick.
Okay, Pillar 1, the K-Health Data Hub. This tackles the data problem head-on. To get more data, they're proposing a data donation platform, inspired by that opt-out model from Finland. To solve the privacy concerns, they want to fund new AI that can automatically anonymize tricky stuff like images and videos. And to solve the trust problem, they want an independent ethics committee to oversee the whole thing. Pillar 2, the Biohealth Sandbox 2.0, is all about cutting through the red tape. It borrows from the US and Germany by creating a system for conditional approval and reimbursement, letting new tech prove itself in the real world. It also sets up a special fast track for those really complex products that mix drugs and digital tech, and it supports virtual clinical trials to slash development time and cost. And finally, Pillar 3 is about thinking globally, because it's not enough to invent something cool in a lab, right? The plan calls for partnerships with leading innovation hubs, like the BioCluster in Boston. It also suggests funding pilot programs overseas so Korean companies can prove their products work anywhere. And, just like Singapore, launching an all-out effort to attract and train the best AI talent from around the world. So, there you have it. The blueprint is on the table. The technical, the regulatory, the global strategies, it's all laid out. It's a comprehensive plan to build the next great pillar of the Korean economy. But the whole thing hinges on one final piece that you can't just engineer. Policy and technology can be designed, but trust has to be earned. Which leaves us with the ultimate question. Korea has the blueprint for its future, but does it have the social trust to actually build it?